urgent but restrained. They say a mirror never lies, but what if it doesn't just reflect you? What if it remembers you? In the summer of 1852, a woman named Margaret Moore vanished from her home without a trace. No sign of struggle, no forced entry, no body, only a mirror, still warm to the touch, and a single candle burning in the darkness. But what really happened to Margaret isn't just terrifying, it's tragic. Because this isn't just a ghost story, it's the story of a lonely woman slipping into silence, one reflection at a time. Margaret's life, alone, but not unseen. Margaret Moore was a schoolteacher in the quiet town of Elmwood, Illinois. A kind woman, educated, polite, always helping others. But privately, she battled a growing sense of emptiness. She had no husband, no children. The townsfolk respected her, but few ever really knew her. She lived alone in a small, ivy-covered house on the outskirts of town. And as the years passed, Margaret began to talk to her mirror more than she spoke to her neighbors. She once told a friend, "Sometimes, I think the only thing that truly sees me is my reflection." At first, it sounded poetic. But then, things changed. A shift too subtle to see. Margaret stopped attending Sunday service. She closed her curtains even during daylight. She began purchasing strange books about mysticism, mirrors, and something called the thin world. Her students said she grew colder, distracted. Some claimed she would pause mid-sentence and stare into a mirror in the back of the classroom, as if someone was whispering to her from the other side. One child said softly, "Miss Moore's mirror doesn't copy her anymore. It moves different." The night she vanished, on June 13th, 1852, neighbors heard a thud and a scream from Margaret's house. They ran over, but the door was unlocked. The house was dark, except for a single candle flickering in the living room. Margaret was standing in front of her mirror, frozen, not blinking. She didn't turn to face them, but her reflection did. And then, right before their eyes, the candle blew out. The room went black, and Margaret was gone. The letter left behind. Later that week, a neighbor found a folded letter in Margaret's handwriting, tucked into the back of a book about mirror folklore. It wasn't a goodbye. It was a confession. They say the mirror shows you who you are, but what if it shows you who's been watching? She came through the glass. She speaks in my voice now. I'm not afraid anymore. I just want to know what's on the other side. It was signed, simply, M.M., a detective who knew too much. Detective Thomas Harrington took over the case. A logical man, a skeptic. He didn't believe in the supernatural until he visited the house himself. He later wrote in his private notes, found decades later, "The mirror was not cold. I swear it pulsed. It felt like it was breathing." He smashed it, or tried to, but the shards didn't fall. They disappeared, like drops of ink into water. The tragic truth: Margaret was never alone. What the town refused to say aloud, what Harrington believed until his death, was that Margaret hadn't just gone missing. She was taken. The mirror didn't reflect her. It absorbed her. Some say it wasn't even Margaret's reflection in the end, but something older, wearing her face. Years later, in 1911, a new family moved into the Moore home. Their 6-year-old daughter vanished on her birthday after staring into a salvaged mirror from the basement. The police report claimed she was last seen whispering to herself in a voice that did not match her age. The case was closed. But the mirror, it was sealed in the basement, forgotten again. They say mirrors are harmless, that reflections are just light. But if you stare long enough, sometimes the reflection changes. Sometimes it stares back. And sometimes it takes more than just your image. Margaret Moore didn't die. She simply slipped into the one place no one could follow, the place inside the glass.